Hey up! Hey! Out and about on the old CF Moto 800 MT, and it's probably an appropriate point upon which to refresh your memory about this here Aiuchi C6 Pro CarPlay stroke TPMS stroke navigation and one or two other bits and bats. Now then, obviously I've had to fire up the engine on this first to get this to power up, because it is connected via a cracking little device called a Heeltech Thunderbox. But I'll tell you why. I mean, a lot of tech in the modern age you could, with a lot of justification, label as more desirable than practical. But I actually think this bit of kit is practical, and I've had it for quite a while now. Now I have the C5 Pro on, which is a little bit slower, a little bit smaller rather, and which doesn't have the remote control unit which this has, albeit that I don't have it fitted. I just don't have a need of it. But this does come with a remote control unit with 3 buttons on, so you can cycle between the functions. Now the C5 Pro, which is otherwise identical, I'm going to fit to the Moto Guzzi V7. But just quickly run through this before we go for a scenic ride and have a little chat about some other stuff. So, as you can see, we're on Google Maps here, navigation. But basically, what this system does is it pairs with your phone via Bluetooth, which is fairly straightforward. And I've just had to reconfigure the Bluetooth connection because my iPhone 13 Pro Max contract ended, and I now have the iPhone 15 Pro Max, so I've had to obviously reconnect to this, but there you go. So whatever you've got on your iPhone, you've got there, and the same applies. This has Android Auto as well, and if you have an Android phone, you will get the same levels of functionality. So like your phone, your messages, just like using your phone without your phone being attached to the handlebars and being vulnerable to theft, damage, vibrations, loss, you name it. Here you've got a fixed unit that mirrors your iPhone or Android phone, so that bit is fine. This also, because my iPhone is connected to this here headset, this Scala Rider, that's the only connection that you need. Anything on here audio wise, navigation, music, that sort of thing, I get through the helmet via the Cardo, via the one connection, just the one connection, and that is the Aiuchi unit to your smartphone. And providing your smartphone is connected to your headset, you're good to go. So that'd be that, and as you can see, it pretty much works. If I had a dry finger, it'd work even better, wouldn't it? Hey, there you go. It works just like your phone works, and you can pick up your messages. What's old Andy wanting? Well, we'll check that later. Aye, so now I don't know what this is. Yeah, interesting, that little thing there. It must have a purpose. I must research that. So you see, you get all the Apple CarPlay stuff there, basically. So whenever then you can go into your home screen here, look, which is the main home screen of the system, and of course we've got video cameras front and rear and constant recording, as you can see there. Very, very valuable indeed. Totally practical, that. Any sort of incident where there's a question around liability, you've got it all recorded on loop, front and rear. I'm just going to driving recorder there, and you'll see I've got a perfect view to the rear of the bike, and just by cycling through you can get obviously different configurations of view. That's the is that the rear view or the front view? Hey, front I think, but anyway, that's got both. I have it on rear view because it's absolutely perfect for reversing. Perfect for reversing. Right, so back to the home screen. Yeah, when I'm backing out, and I'll just show you this clip of me backing out of my driveway at home. Can be a bit tight with this bike with the panniers on. Just have a look at this and see how easy it is. I'll just insert this clip here. Have a look. Just tap it, bring up your menu, back to the home screen, and so you've also got this one here, panel. And there you go. You see, I've got my tyre PSIs. I have Metzler Karoo 4s on here, so they're a slightly lower tyre pressure than the normal road going tyres. And I've kept the speedo in kilometres per hour because I've got miles per hour up there on the CF Moto screen. But there you are, front and rear, and you can set a warning. You can go into settings, you can set a warning, and you can set the parameters of too low, too high for tyre pressure and for temperatures. And at those thresholds it will give you a warning regardless of what screen you have displayed. So a very, very practical, useful bit of kit, and if you follow the affiliate link in the description below, hey, you'll get yourself 22% discount, 22% off of this, which makes the whole thing come in at around about £130. £130 sterling, give or take, which is an absolute bargain for something that does as much as this does, and the picture quality is superb. Right, so let's go back to a bit of sat nav, shall we? Oh no, you've got GPS info as well. So there you go, you've got longitude, latitude, altitude, lots of telemetry here, lots of data, interesting stuff. Back to the home screen, and we'll let's go on to CarPlay, and shall we go on to Apple Maps? There we go, Apple Maps, and York Gate in Otley, and that's where we are. Alright, so yeah, if you want one of these, click on the link below and get 22% off, courtesy of me. The full review of this and the C5 Pro are a few videos back. Go have a look at them if you want it in absolute full detail, and they include how to fit the devices to your bike. Right, let's crack on. Right, so back out on the road again in the Yorkshire Dales on my fantastic CF Moto 800 MT, 2,200 miles, and performing superbly in all respects. My word, this engine packs a punch. This is all the power you're ever going to need in an adventure bike. If you want more power than this, I don't know what you're doing buying an adventure bike. Aye, so ooh, look at this here. Ooh, get in. My word. Now, of course, talking about technology, I am neither technophile nor technophobe. I occupy the middle ground when it comes to technology. The stuff that appeals to me is the stuff that works in the real world. and provides for added value to your experience. In my case, the motorcycling experience, the film making experience, and everything that goes with it, like, you know, editing and all of that malarkey. So I like technology that helps me in those particular areas. So that's why I like this Auchi's C6 Pro and the C5 Pro that's going on the Moto Guzzi. And it's why I like a computer that works well and a smartphone that works well, because those devices, oh, and of course a camera that works well. Hey, it's behaving. That's tempted providence. Yeah, I like all of those things to work well, and if they do, then yeah, that's a bit of technology I would wholeheartedly endorse. If it helps me do my job. A lot of the other stuff, I think, particularly the trinkets, which tend to adorn a lot of modern motorcycles. I can see the use of some, but some are, as Monty Burns would have said, some are flim-flam, flim-flam. Yes, electronic tokenism. Basically there for the sake of bragging rights. But anyway, let's not get too controversial. Some people like all that sort of thing, and well and good. All's well and good in my little world. I had to drop into a bit of Bob Ross there, because this scenery here would be a Bob Ross dream, wouldn't it? God rest his soul, Bob Ross. All sorts of happy little things happening here and there and there and here. Aye. So, aye, technology. Now, the only thing with technology is... come past me, sir. Thank you. I'm jabbering on. I can't do them sort of speeds when I'm whittering on. I explained that before. Where were I? Ah, yes. Yeah, technology, when it ceases to function, it can leave you a bit bereft. Now, recently, as some of you may know, I was tearing out what's left of my hair, which admittedly isn't very much, over the fact that my old computer had turned its toes up and would not process 4K videos. So I had to buy a new computer. So I bought a new computer, much more powerful system, not overly expensive, and working a treat. So that'll all be fine. Then, of course, issues with the GoPro cameras. But now that I've done all the formatting and updating recommended by Jonathan of the Wildlife Moto channel, touch wood, both cameras are behaving. Though I do apologise for that last video with the Vosges 525 DSX, where I had to crop in because this here, hey, this here mic adapter for the GoPro 12 had dropped out of place and was partially hanging over the top of the field of view, and I could see it, so I had to crop it out. And in and amongst doing all that, I forgot to level the horizon as well. Oh, so apologies for that. Aye, so there were then so the issue with the computer, then the issue with the cameras, and then lo and behold, last Friday, the internet went down. Virgin Media went down. Now normally when it does that, all I have to do is unplug the modem, the router, plug it back in again, and it sorts itself out. This time it didn't. So I did a check on the Virgin Media website, and it proclaimed, yes, there's a fault in your particular area, and we've identified it, and our engineers are working hard to put it right, and we anticipate it'll be fixed by 1 o'clock. Well, 1 o'clock on Friday became 6 o'clock on Friday, became 10 o'clock, became 10 o'clock Saturday morning, became 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon, 6 o'clock Saturday afternoon, midnight Saturday night, Sunday, be fixed by 1 o'clock, no, tea time, no, evening, no, into Monday, and eventually, not Monday, no, it won't fix Monday either, Tuesday, eventually, Tuesday, it will put right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 days of it being off. And of course, no internet, no uploading videos to YouTube. Because although I am advised it is very easy to piggyback your PC onto your iPhone and use the 5G, my brand new iPhone 15 Pro Max and my brand new computer weren't having any of it. Nope, not having any of it. So anyway, it came back on. It transpires there an underground cable fire involving some electrical cables nearby, which fair enough, that's not Virgin Media's fault. I accept that. But what really pisses me off is when you phone the helpline and it's a recorded message, or you go on the website through your phone and it keeps saying, yeah, we'll fix it in 4 hours, and it keeps extending the deadline time after time, day after day. Of course, it transpires that because these electrical cables had caught fire and burnt through the broadband cables, that they had to get another contractor in to fix the electrical cables. And fair enough, why didn't they say that on day one? A little bit of honesty goes a long way. It will have been patently obvious from day one, when they identified the fault, that it weren't going to be fixed for some time. So why didn't they just say, we've located the fault, there's been a fire underground, some electrical cables, it's taken our cables out, we're going to have to get a contractor in to make it safe before we can do the work, and we're really sorry. And it'll probably take 3 or 4 days. Fine, not an issue then. If they'd have done that, I wouldn't have spent hours and hours trying to find ways of getting an iPhone to edit and upload videos to YouTube. I'd have just thought, right, it's taking 3 or 4 days, give them the 3 or 4 days, adjust my plans accordingly. That's what I'd have done. But no, because they kept saying it'll be fixed in 4 hours, be fixed tomorrow, da-di-da-di-da. I sort of naively took them at their word that would be the case, and he rode up. Right, so that was that. So yeah, technology wonderful when it's bloody working. I've had my fair share of naff computers, naff cameras, and naff internet. All very frustrating. Yeah, because it's all absolutely needed. But this here endeavour, any road up. Aye, so yeah, technology. Great when it helps you in your endeavours, and great when it's working. But when it falls over, all of a sudden we all get a dither on, don't we? And I did have a dither on. Couldn't watch Netflix, couldn't watch Amazon Prime, couldn't watch YouTube on telly. Oh, and the vast majority of my viewing is between those three. So anyway, oh, and of course, hey, isn't it typical? I thought I know what I can do, because I've got an HDMI lead, which is HDMI and Apple lightning connector. Well, that'd be good. Just put my iPhone into the TV, watch it all, just mirror the phone, the TV. Of course, however, I've just upgraded from iPhone 13 with a lightning connection. Now I've got an iPhone 15 Pro Max, and of course they have a USB-C connection, which all in all is a big improvement. But of course I didn't have that bloody lead, did I? So all this serves to illustrate, one, that I'm a right miserable, whinging, belly aching sod, and hey, number two, how circumstances can conspire together to set you in a complete dither. There's no will. I don't know. And it got me to thinking that much of the moral panic and day-to-day anxiety that we suffer from as a society is born of an over-reliance and a now over-familiarity with the benefits afforded by technology, where it seems that the whole world is available. The flick of a switch, press of a button, or the tap of the screen. And when all of a sudden it's not there, suddenly collective anxiety levels tend to accelerate. Of course, like all progress, there can be attributed to it the good, the bad and the indifferent. But I do remark now, walking about, generally being out and about in the 21st century compared to when I were a kid growing up in the 60s and 70s. You just don't see kids playing in the street anymore, do you? Not to any significant degree. And don't get me wrong, kids playing in the street can be a right pain in the backside, can't they, sometimes? But, sorry, that was an accident. Hey! It can be a right pain in the backside, but it is the natural order of things, isn't it? The young of all species engage in play. It's part of the rites of passage into adulthood is formative years of play, social interaction. And I'm not sure that the social interaction in a bedroom with your mates online, if they are your mates, if they are even people, is good. Now, I don't have kids, so from a personal point of view I don't actually have to worry about it, but I can't help but observe you don't see kids laking about in the street anymore like they did when I were a nipper, running around and playing tag and cowboys and Indians, you know, firing off your cap guns and riding your bikes and trying to emulate wacky races and all of that. Don't see it anymore. And yeah, the young of pretty much most, certainly mammalian species and many others, do engage in play. When I walk Eddie on the nature reserve, which is right at the back of the house, lovely nature reserve, right at the back of the house, the moorland, woodland, crags, stunning views right down the Aire Valley. And there's deer there. I've seen a black fox, would you believe, there once, playing with a normal fox very early one morning. I've seen deer, all sorts of birds, red kites, owls, woodpeckers, you name it. Beautiful place. But what's always there early in the morning, pretty much at dawn, which is when I take Eddie for his walk, is rabbits, young rabbits, which of course Eddie's very interested in but can't get to. But they play. You can see them playing, you know. You don't need to be a member of the rabbit species to be able to recognise that they're having fun. They're having a good old time in the youth, running circles around each other and jumping over each other, and it's play, it's obvious what it is, and it's such a natural thing. But you just don't see kids playing in the street anymore. And I'm guessing they're all pretty tucked away somewhere with their Xboxes. I don't think, at the risk of sounding like an old fuddy-duddy, which I am, but it can't be good for them. What do you think? I have this passion to drive a bus. I don't know why. I mean, when I was a kid with no car, my dad had his motorbike for a period of time during my youth. And when he stopped riding, everything were a case of bus, really. And as a young kid I was obsessed with buses. I could name the different makes, you know, Daimlers and Leylands and later on Scanias. Yeah, Leyland Atlanteans and Daimler Fleetlines that they used to operate out of Bradford Terminus. And I've always harboured this desire to drive a bus. And every time you see somebody like Keighley Bus Company a bit back, what they did, normally they only advertise driver vacancies for people that have got the LPCV, Large Passenger Carrying Vehicle qualification. But just occasionally they'll advertise for trainee, so they take somebody on and train them, get them their LPCV licence, and then take them on. And I thought, ooh, I don't mind having a crack at that. And then I thought, you silly old bugger, you're 61. Don't be silly. We're not going to invest in you. We invest all that money training you, thinking, bloody hell, there's probably about 5 years left in him. Hey! No, it's just one of those things I'd love to do. Drive a bus. Yeah, because also when I was a kid, our annual holiday was always to Guernsey in the Channel Islands. Used to get the overnight coach from bus station in Bradford, overnight coach down to London Victoria coach station, and then the boat train, the train down to Weymouth on the south coast, and then on the mail boat to St Peter Port, capital of Guernsey in the Channel Islands. And there's the Guernsey bus company, and I remember back then they were all single decker buses of various ages, and they were either red or green, all red or all green with a colour. Half of them were red, half of them were green, and they were like Bedfords and Albions and all sorts of old British bus makers, and I was fascinated by it. And I had my favourites. I think my favourite was one of the Bedford variants, and if that came along to take us to one of the beaches, Portlet or Pembroke, one of these, I was so excited. I used to love it. And then if one of the old crap Albions came along, I was thoroughly disappointed. They certainly are amongst my most fond childhood memories. Bloody marvellous.